Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're plunging into something, well, truly extraordinary, a technological leap. And it goes far beyond just, faster numbers.
Right.
It's talking about a future where humanity's really pressing challenges. Think climate change, disease, maybe developing totally new energy sources can actually be tackled.
Using computational power we couldn't even imagine before.
Exactly. Power previously unimaginable. It's partly about securing a nation's future, sure, but also about expanding the horizons of science for everyone.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay, so let's unpack this a bit. Our focus today, FugakuNEXT. It's this really ambitious international initiative. You've got Riken, Fujitsu, and NVIDIA leading the charge.
Key players.
And it isn't just another supercomputer build. It's more like a strategic platform.
Yeah.
Being built to confront these incredibly complex social challenges using advanced computational science. And critically, to really boost industrial competitiveness globally.
It's a huge undertaking.
Monumental ambition, definitely.
And what's truly fascinating here, I think, is the sheer scale and the foresight behind it.
Right.
Like you said, it's not just an incremental upgrade to systems we already have.
No.
FugakuNEXT, it really represents a generational leap in high-performance computing HPC,
Yeah, HPC.
And it has the potential to fundamentally transform, well, both how we do cutting-edge scientific research and how we translate those discoveries into real-world applications.
So the impact could be massive.
The implications, like you said, they're genuinely far-reaching.
Far-reaching feels right. But, I mean, a project this big with these kinds of targets for, around 2030?
Yeah, roughly.
You must face just monumental challenges. Funding, maybe? Managing the complexity of integrating all this global expertise.
Absolutely.
What do you think keeps the teams, at Riken, Fujitsu, NVIDIA up at night when they're thinking about this future?
That's a really excellent question. It gets to the core of these huge innovation projects.
Oh.
Beyond let's say, the obvious technical hurdles of just building a machine this powerful.
Sure.
The primary challenges. They often revolve around synchronizing that international R&D effort.
Yeah.
Keeping everyone aligned on a single vision over potentially a decade.
Oh, God.
A very long time. And ensuring the software, the whole ecosystem, evolves right alongside the hardware.
Right.
It's not just building a faster car, it's like building a whole new highway system for it, while also designing the next generation of cars that will use it.
That's a good analogy.
They're essentially solving problems that maybe don't even fully exist yet, which demands incredible long-term strategic planning, just immense foresight.
And to really get the significance of FugakuNEXT, you kind of need to know its background, its lineage.
Definitely help.
Because this isn't Riken's first major supercomputing project. Not by a long shot. They're building on a really incredible legacy.
They are.
Think back to the K computer. That came online around 2011.
Right.
And then its successor, the current supercomputer, Fugaku, started operations in 2020, became world leader almost immediately.
Tackled some huge problems, COVID-19 simulations, climate modeling.
Exactly. So FugakuNEXT, planned for around 2030, is the highly anticipated next step in this powerful line.
Evolution.
The evolution, yes. And the core purpose is just monumental, building a Zetascale HPC environment.
Zetascale.
Now, for anyone not familiar, a Zetascale machine, it's capable of a sextillion floating point operations per second.
Which is just staggering.
It really is.
Yep.
A 1 followed by 21 zeros. I mean, to put that in perspective, if every single person on Earth did 1 calculation per second, it would take us over 300 years to do what a Zetascale computer could do in just 1 second.
Wow. Mind-bending numbers.
Totally. And this isn't just about, bragging rights or topping a list.
No, it's strategic.
It's about cementing Japan's top-tier position in computational science and driving immense value creation by literally pushing the boundaries of what computation can even achieve.
And if you connect that to the bigger picture, like you were saying, you see this clear strategic progression. Each generation, Fugaku, now FugakuNEXT, it hasn't just offered more raw power. It's about building capabilities.
Capabilities, that's key.
Enabling totally new classes of problems, things that were simply impossible to tackle before.
Right.
So it's not just an upgrade cycle. It's a strategic advancement for Japan's whole IT industry, its national research platform, really pushing the envelope technologically, scientifically.
And it's a truly global effort, isn't it?
It has to be at this scale.
While Riken Center for Computational Science, led by Satoshi Matsuoka, who's a real visionary in this field, is steering the ship. The The project involves these key partnerships, Fujitsu, NVIDIA, industry giants.
Yeah.
This international collaboration, it really speaks to the global nature of these, cutting-edge tech challenges.
It does.
From your perspective, what are the main benefits of doing it this way? And maybe, what are the unique challenges of tackling something so nationally important through a global partnership?
Well, the benefits are enormous, really. You're pooling the best minds, the best tech innovations from across the globe.
Access to everything.
Pretty much. NVIDIA, for instance, brings just unparalleled expertise in GPU technology.
The leaders there.
Absolutely. While Fujitsu has this deep experience in system integration, building the overall supercomputer architecture itself.
Right.
And Riken, of course, provides that crucial scientific leadership, the application knowledge. They know what problems need solving.
Okay, so the synergy is powerful. What about the challenges?
The challenges, well, they lie in harmonizing things. Different corporate cultures, maybe. Intellectual property considerations, always tricky.
Sure.
And even aligning different national strategic interests sometimes. But the payoff, in terms of accelerating development and creating a truly world-class system, it seems to far outweigh those complexities.
Makes sense.
It's sort of a pragmatic recognition, I think. No single company, no single country holds all the answers for a project this ambitious.
Okay, let's really get into the nuts and bolts now. The tech innovations that are going to make FugakuNEXT happen.
The exciting stuff.
Right, the architecture. It's built on the ARM foundation of Fugaku, which was already revolutionary.
It really was.
But FugakuNEXT is pushing further. Advancements in system design, taking something successful and evolving it.
Yeah.
Dramatically. So getting into these architectural innovations, one thing that really jumped out at me was this introduction of GPUs as accelerator.
Yes.
The GPUs.
Could you walk us through why that's such a significant shift, especially given Fugaku's ARM base?
Absolutely. That's a key point. Fugaku's ARM architecture, it was groundbreaking, especially for its energy efficiency, its balanced performance across a really wide range of scientific jobs.
Right, jobs needing strong CPU performance.
Exactly. But for certain highly parallel tasks, and this is especially true in AI and machine learning GPUs, graphics processing units, just offer incredible acceleration.
Like orders of magnitude faster for some things.
Potentially, yes. Think of a CPU like a very powerful, versatile manager handling complex individual tasks. A GPU is more like an army of specialized workers.
Okay.
Thousands of them, handling simpler tasks simultaneously. So by integrating GPUs, FugakuNEXT is modernizing its whole approach.
A hybrid model, then.
Exactly. Creating a truly hybrid, tightly integrated, high-performance CPU-GPU architecture. And this is happening under a Japan-US joint development framework, which is interesting. And it's really key to speeding up the social implementation of research outcomes, especially with AI being used so much more actively now.
So it connects the research to real-world impact faster.
That's the idea. It's like adding a rocket booster to an already incredibly powerful engine.
That analogy really helps visualize it. So it's not just about, bolting on GPUs.
No, far from it.
They have to work seamlessly together. And you mentioned advanced memory technologies earlier as a key area. Why is memory so critical here at this scale?
Oh, memory is absolutely crucial. Massively important. Imagine you have this super fast brain that's your CPU and GPU working together.
Okay.
But it has to keep running off to a distant library every single time it needs a piece of information.
That would slow everything down. A bottleneck.
Exactly. A huge bottleneck. Advanced memory technologies, things like high bandwidth memory, HBM, they're like putting a massive, incredibly fast library right inside the brain itself.
Right next to the processors.
Precisely. This lets the processors access and store vast amounts of data almost instantly. It prevents those bottlenecks and truly unleashes the power of the CPUs and GPUs.
You've got to feed the beast.
You absolutely have to feed the beast quickly enough to use its full potential. Otherwise, what's the point of all that speed?
And the performance targets here are just, well, they're mind-boggling.
They really are.
Just to give you some context again, the K computer back in the day hit 10.6 PFLOPS and 5.64 PB's memory bandwidth.
Which was huge then.
Then Fugaku leaped to 442 PFOPS, 163 PB's memory bandwidth.
A massive jump.
Now, FugakuNEXT, it's aiming for hardware performance for traditional scientific computing. That's FP64 precision, the high precision stuff, and memory bandwidth.
Yeah.
Over 2.6 EFLOPS and over 800 PBs.
EFLOPS, exascale, that's the next frontier.
A huge jump into exascale.
Yeah.
But And this is where it gets really clever for AI.
Ah, yes, the AI performance.
For traditional science, you need that extreme precision, right? Like mapping a continent down to the millimeter. That's your FP64 64-bit floating point.
Highest fidelity.
But for AI tasks like image recognition, language processing, even some scientific machine learning, you often don't need that level of precision for every single calculation.
Not always, no. It can be overkill.
So FugakuNEXT is also targeting over 600 eFloppy LPHE specifically for AI hardware performance.
Yeah.
Using FP16 and FP8.
Lower precision formats.
Think of them as quicker, lighter calculations, like a sketch versus a super detailed painting.
Good analogy. Faster, less demanding.
And they mentioned sparsity. What does that mean in this context?
Sparsity means the system is smart. It can figure out which calculations are essentially going to result in 0 or something negligible and just skip them.
Oh, okay. Don't waste time on stuff that doesn't matter.
Exactly. It makes it even faster and more energy efficient, especially for certain types of AI problems where lots of values are 0. It's just an astronomical jump in specialized AI power.
So how are they actually planning to achieve this incredible leap up to 100x application performance? It can't just be the hardware alone.
No, definitely not. It's a sophisticated blend of strategies, a clear road, as they call it.
Right. Could you shed some light on what these strategies involve? What are they doing beyond the silicon?
Yeah, this is where the real ingenuity of computational science comes in. It's clever.
Okay.
They're using several techniques. One is surrogate models. Imagine you want to model something complex, like how a new drug interacts with a protein molecule.
Okay. Very complex simulation.
Extremely. Running a full, exhaustive simulation every single time. It can take weeks, maybe months, even on Fugaku. Surrogate models are like simpler, much faster approximations. They learn from the full simulations and can give you a good enough answer much, much quicker. Useful for exploring many possibilities.
Like a shortcut.
A very intelligent shortcut. And then there are physics-informed neural networks, or PNNs.
PNNs, heard about those.
These are fascinating. They're AI models, neural networks, but they're trained not just on data. They're also ingrained with the fundamental laws of physics governing the system they're modeling.
So they don't just learn patterns, they sort of understand the rules.
Exactly. They don't just learn from observations. They inherently know the underlying principles, like conservation of energy or fluid dynamics equations. This makes them incredibly efficient and accurate for scientific discovery.
And the speed up.
Potentially huge. They're talking 10 to 20 times speed up just from using these kinds of techniques.
Wow. That's fascinating. Using AI not just to crunch numbers, but to actually embed scientific understanding into the computation itself.
It's a powerful concept.
What about the other techniques mentioned? Mixed precision arithmetic. The Ozaki scheme.
Right. So alongside PNNs, they're heavily using mixed precision arithmetic.
Oh.
This means the computer is smart enough to use different levels of numerical precision for different parts of the same calculation.
Ah, so not everything needs that super high FP64 precision.
Precisely. Some parts might, but others can get away with the faster, less energy-hungry FP16 or even FP8.
Like knowing when to use a calculator versus just doing quick mental math.
That's a perfect analogy. You achieve massive speedups overall without sacrificing the necessary accuracy for the final result.
Clever. And the Ozaki scheme.
The Ozaki scheme is another advanced numerical technique. It's a specific algorithm, quite complex, but it effectively lets you emulate higher precision arithmetic using lower precision hardware operations.
So you get higher precision results, but faster.
Essentially, yes. Offering maybe a 2 to 8 times speed up in certain contexts. It's this sophisticated blend, you see. Riken-led research pushing the boundaries, combined with crucial contributions from the vendors like Fujitsu and NVIDIA.
All working together.
All working in concert to squeeze every single drop of performance out of this incredible machine.
So this raises a really important question for me. Yeah. What's the real significance of these performance gains? Especially that up to 100x application performance number. It sounds like it's way more than just getting answers faster.
Oh, it's profoundly more. Fundamentally more.
How so?
It changes the types of problems we can even dare to attempt.
Okay.
Imagine simulating, say, the complex folding process of every known human protein.
That's immense.
To understand diseases like Alzheimer's or design new therapies and doing it in a fraction of the time it takes now. Or predicting material properties right down at the atomic level with such precision
that you could design perfect materials from scratch.
Exactly. Designing a perfect, maybe self-healing alloy or a super efficient battery material computationally, instead of years and years of lab-based trial and error.
Wow.
This isn't just incremental progress. It's about making entire fields of discovery, fields that were previously just completely blocked by computational limits, suddenly viable, possible.
That opens up new frontiers.
Absolutely. For fields like AI for science, where AI accelerates scientific discovery itself, or in other super computationally intensive areas, this level of power enables breakthroughs previously impossible.
These we couldn't even dream of simulating before.
Right. It pushes the boundaries of what human intelligence, augmented by machine intelligence, can uncover. It really shifts the scientific frontier from, can we even do this, to, okay, what amazing thing do we want to discover next?
And crucially, it's not just about the raw power, is it? There's responsibility, sustainability.
Yes, very important.
Another vital aspect mentioned is achieving energy efficiency by advancing operational technologies.
Critical. Absolutely critical.
With this kind of power draw, managing the energy footprint has to be paramount, not just for the planet, but for the sheer cost of running it.
Precisely. You can't ignore it. A zettascale machine, even an exascale one before it, consumes immense amounts of power.
Like a small town, probably.
Or more. Without radical steps in energy efficiency at every single level, chip design, cooling systems, operational software, how you schedule jobs these machines would be prohibitively expensive to run and environmentally unsustainable.
So efficiency isn't an afterthought.
No way. It's absolutely integral to the design philosophy, baked in from the start. It ensures FugakuNEXT can actually operate effectively, affordably, sustainably for its entire planned lifespan.
Okay, we've just covered some truly impressive engineering behind FugakuNEXT. Mind-blowing stuff.
It really is.
But let's step back a bit, pull back from the technical marvel for a moment and ask, what does all this immense power actually do for us, for Japan, for the world?
The bigger picture?
Yeah, what's the broader value, the national significance that Japan is building here? We know the core goal is ensuring global leadership in computational science with this zettascale HPC. But how does that translate? Tangible benefits for the country, its place in the world.
Well, what's really important to grasp here, I think, is that this system is being built as Japan's most powerful research platform for AI development.
Okay, specifically highlighting AI.
Yes, a place where computation isn't just a helpful tool, it becomes a decisive factor in driving innovation.
How so? Give us an example.
Okay, think about, say, the automotive sector, a huge industry for Japan.
Right.
Imagine being able to run rapid, incredibly high-fidelity simulations of new lightweight materials, or complex autonomous driving scenarios in virtual cities, or battery chemistries, much faster and cheaper than physical prototypes.
That would give Japanese companies a massive edge.
A massive edge. Or think pharmaceuticals. Accelerating drug discovery and design by orders of magnitude through simulation and AI.
Huge implications for healthcare.
Exactly. So it's not just about having a faster computer. It's about providing these foundational enabling tools that will empower entire industries to innovate faster, more effectively than ever before.
Securing that top-tier position.
Securing Japan's top-tier position in computational research, yes. And really setting a global benchmark for what's possible.
And this project, it also ties strongly into Japan's wider semiconductor strategy, doesn't it?
It does.
Operating under this Made with Japan development framework.
Yes, that's a key phrase.
So this isn't just about building one supercomputer. It's about fostering the whole domestic tech ecosystem.
That's a big part of it. Promoting the advancement and, crucially, the succession of competitive domestic technologies, making sure that expertise doesn't disappear.
Building a sustainable capability.
Exactly. The aim is to secure Japan's strategic indispensability, you could say, in the global IT industry, and then drive the expansion of these advanced Japanese technologies into global markets.
It's a powerful statement. Technological sovereignty combined with global ambition.
And that raises a really critical point today: sovereignty. In our world, which is so interconnected but also increasingly competitive, ensuring Japan's sovereignty in advanced AI tech, in computing infrastructure, it's seen as paramount.
Self-reliance in critical areas.
It's about self-reliance in a tech domain that's evolving incredibly fast, minimizing dependence on potentially adversarial external powers for things that are critical infrastructure.
Makes sense.
But, and this is important, hand in hand with that, is talent development through international collaboration, like the NVIDIA partnership.
So it's not purely isolationist.
Not at all. This approach ensures that while you nurture your domestic capabilities, you also engage with and grow a broader pool of global expertise. That's crucial for staying at the leading edge, for adaptability in IT.
And fostering the next generation of innovators.
Precisely. It's a delicate but necessary balance. Internal strength coupled with global reach and collaboration.
And it's not just the machine itself, the hardware, but the whole ecosystem around it. You mentioned that earlier.
Yes, the ecosystem.
The FugakuNEXT ecosystem. It emphasizes building ecosystem-ready systems with sustained software development. What does an ecosystem for a supercomputer actually mean? Why is that so critical for its long-term impact?
That's such a crucial point. Often gets overlooked when people just focus on the PFLOPS or EFLOPS numbers.
Right, flashy specs.
Exactly. An ecosystem for a supercomputer, it's not just the hardware. It's the entire universe of software, applications, user tools, programming models, libraries, and crucially, the skilled people who make the hardware usable and productive.
So everything needed to actually use the machine effectively.
Everything. Building ecosystem-ready systems with sustained software development means you're not just developing the physical machine in isolation, you are simultaneously creating and critically continuously updating the operating systems, the compilers, the programming languages, the scientific libraries, the specific applications that will actually run on it, and training the scientists and engineers to use it all effectively.
It's a whole infrastructure.
It is. Without a vibrant, evolving ecosystem, even the most powerful supercomputer on Earth would be like that Ferrari with no roads we talked about. Or maybe no trained drivers.
Useless, basically.
Pretty much. The ecosystem ensures the system stays relevant, productive, and impactful throughout its entire operational lifespan. Years and years. And it enables continuous application modernization, so software keeps improving for future advanced systems too.
It's the long game.
It has to be.
Ultimately, then, bringing all these threads together, the tech, the strategy, the ecosystem, what is the overarching goal of FugakuNEXT?
Ultimately, I think the overarching goal of FugakuNEXT, it can be summarized as expanding computational frontiers, pushing the boundaries through the development of these next-generation AI HPC platforms, and perhaps most profoundly, advancing science itself, with this concept of AI for science.
AI as a partner in discovery.
Exactly. It's a truly transformative vision, I think, for the future of research and innovation, aiming to solve humanity's grand challenges by harnessing the absolute limits of what computation and AI can achieve together.
So as we start to wrap up this deep dive, just consider the incredible scope of FugakuNEXT.
It's vast.
From those mind-bending raw power targets, leveraging hybrid CPU, GPU architectures, pioneering software like PNANs, mixed precision.
All that clever stuff.
To its huge strategic implications for science, for industry, for national sovereignty. This project, it really represents more than just a faster computer.
Much more.
It feels like a paradigm shift.
Right.
A whole new way to approach the most complex problems facing humanity. A real testament to what international collaboration and visionary thinking can achieve.
Absolutely. And maybe here's a final provocative thought for you to consider.
Okay.
Think about how this relentless pursuit of computational power, FugakuNEXT being a prime example, doesn't just push the boundaries of what's technically possible, but how it might also be fundamentally reshaping our understanding of intelligence itself.
How so?
Especially with the rise of AI for science, where machines aren't just tools calculating things we tell them to, but are becoming active collaborators in fundamental discovery, asking questions, proposing hypotheses.
Blurring the lines.
Exactly. We're entering an era where computation isn't just solving problems we set. It might be helping us define the very nature of knowledge and intelligence, accelerating human progress in ways we can perhaps barely imagine today.
Wow. That is a provocative thought. What new grand challenges will this zettascale power unlock? What breakthroughs are just over the horizon because of this, blurring the lines between human and artificial intelligence and discovery?
It's going to be fascinating to watch.
It really is. We'll definitely be watching closely, and we encourage you to do the same. Thanks for joining us for another deep dive.
Thank you.
And we'll catch you next time.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we take your sources, really dig into the research, and try to pull out the most, fascinating insights.
That's the place.
And today we're embarking on, I think, an extraordinary journey. It's a deep dive into what scientists call the Cambrian Awakening. This was a pivotal moment 541 million years ago, when Earth's story just dramatically accelerated. It really changed the trajectory of life forever.
Absolutely. A turning point.
So we'll be exploring material from Voices from Ancient Seas, a journey through the Cambrian awakening, and also digging into some of your notes and research you sent over.
Right.
The idea is to truly grasp how our planet transformed from, a quiet, mostly microbial world to one just teeming with complex animals.
It's a huge leap.
Yeah, our mission here is basically to give you a shortcut to understanding one of life's most foundational chapters.
Let's do it.
Okay, so to set the scene, let's try and travel back in time, maybe 600 million years ago. Imagine an Earth that would be completely unrecognizable. I mean, no rustling leaves, no insect sounds, definitely no fish dumping.
A very alien world.
Totally. The continents themselves were scattered like puzzle pieces not yet fitted together, what we now call North America. It was sitting near the equator.
Yeah, and the supercontinent Gondwana stretched way across the southern latitudes. A very different map.
Vastly different.
And beneath those, quiet, almost empty-looking waves, life had already been writing its story for over 3 billion years.
3 billion?
Yeah, but it was a story dominated by microscopic players. Bacteria, archaea. They often built these layered mounds called stromatolites.
Right, I've seen pictures of those.
But the late Proterozoic eon, that's the huge stretch of time before the Cambrian, did see the first big leaps towards complexity.
Okay, like what?
Well, around 1.8 billion years ago, cells learned to keep their genetic material safe inside a nucleus. That's when eukaryotes appeared. They're basically the building blocks for all complex life.
The foundation.
Exactly. And then later, maybe a billion years ago, these cells started cooperating, working together, forming the first multicellular organisms.
Wow. Okay, so things were happening just slowly.
Very slowly. And by about 600 million years ago, the seas hosted this really fascinating group of organisms called the Ediacaran biota.
Ediacaran. Tell me about them.
They were strange, shaped like quilted pancakes, fronds, discs, things like Dickinsonia and Charnia.
Quilted pancakes?
Yeah, it's the best description. And what's striking is how they lived. No shells for protection, no real eyes to see with, no obvious way to actively hunt or run away.
So passive.
Very. Filter feeders, maybe grazers on microbial mats, or just absorbing nutrients from the water. It was a world of, biological patience. Evolution was quiet, slow.
Okay, so we have this ancient Earth, drifting continents, calm oceans, these patient, sort of passive Ediacaran creatures. But then almost like a cosmic alarm clock went off right around 541 million years ago. That quiet patience just vanished. Explosion of activity. What exactly initiated this great stirring? How did we get from that passive world to the dynamic Cambrian?
That is the million-dollar question, isn't it? And what's so fascinating here is that it wasn't just one single thing, not an overnight event.
Yeah.
It was more like a gradual stirring, maybe over, say, 25 million years.
25 million years. Sounds long to us.
It does, but geologically, that's a blink of an eye, really. And during this time, animals started experimenting with totally new ways of living, changed everything.
A geological blink, I like that. And these first hints, these initial tremors of change, they showed up in trace fossils.
Exactly. Trace fossils, the marks left behind by organisms, instead of just simple meandering trails from earlier life.
Right.
Paleontologists started finding incredibly complex burrows, vertical tubes, intricate horizontal galleries, networks branching out.
Wow, that's huge difference.
It was a revolution, truly. Animals were actively engineering their own environments, deliberately breaking through those microbial mats that had, dominated sea floors for billions of years.
Engineering their environment.
Absolutely. And this biological stirring, or bioturbation as scientists call it, fundamentally altered ocean chemistry in really profound ways.
How so?
Well, imagine them churning up the seabed. Suddenly, oxygen could get deeper into the sediments. Trapped nutrients got released, recycled back into the water.
Okay, so it unlocked resources.
Precisely. That flat, two-dimensional world of microbial mats gave way to a complex, layered, three-dimensional ecosystem. New hiding places, new food opportunities, a whole new competitive landscape.
And they were moving differently, too.
Yeah, these pioneers were also starting to experiment with more directed movement, more sophisticated muscle.
Okay, that's incredible. Ecosystem engineering on a massive scale, basically.
You got it.
And here's where it gets really interesting for me. The hard parts. Animals started developing shells, carapaces, even internal skeletons.
Critically important, yes.
These weren't just for defense, right? They helped with movement, too.
Exactly. Provided crucial anchor points for muscles, enabling more powerful, controlled movement. And the very first of these, what we call the small shelly fauna.
Small shelly fauna, okay.
They appeared around 540 million years ago. Tiny things, cone-shaped shells, spiny tubes, little plate-like structures.
So these initial experiments in biomineralization, making minerals.
Yeah, that process was truly revolutionary. Animals were basically learning how to pull minerals like calcium carbonate, calcium phosphate, right out of the seawater to build these structures.
But the environment helped.
Oh, definitely. This wasn't happening in a vacuum. At the same time, Earth's ocean chemistry was changing. Oxygen levels were rising. Ocean circulation patterns shifted.
Bringing nutrients around.
Exactly, bringing vital nutrients to new areas. It created, you could say, the perfect storm for this burst of innovation.
Okay, so the conditions are right. Life's getting physically tougher with shells and things. What happened next? More competition.
Well, yeah, ecological pressures built up fast. With all these new tools, shells, better muscles, competition for space, for food, it just intensified dramatically.
And predators?
Critically, yes. The first true predators emerged.
Yeah.
And that kicked off what we can only really describe as an arms race.
An arms race? Like...
Think about it. You develop a shell for protection.
So someone else develops stronger claws or jaws to break it.
Exactly. Or you dig deeper burrows to hide.
So predators get better at finding you or digging you out?
Precisely.
Right.
Longer appendages for reaching or fleeing. Every new adaptation spurred counter-adaptations. It was this relentless feedback loop of innovation, speeding up evolution like never before.
Wow. So basically, they invented ancient biological warfare. Shells, claws, deep bunkers. It's like an evolutionary Cold War down there.
That's a perfect analogy. And by about 530 million years ago, this great stirring had completely transformed entire ecosystems.
Gone was the quiet world.
Completely gone, replaced by this dynamic living theater. Survival now depended on speed, strength, perception, strategy. The stage was just spectacularly set for life's greatest experiment in diversity.
That really makes me wonder if we could somehow, float in a Cambrian sea maybe 525 million years ago. What would we actually see down there on that bustling seafloor?
Oh, okay. Well, among the most prominent performers in this theater of innovation, you definitely see arthropods. Sure. Especially trilobites.
Trilobites. Everyone knows trilobites.
They're iconic, right? Their name means three lobes, which perfectly describes their bodies. They're exoskeletons made of calcite, basically limestone.
Tough stuff.
Oh, yeah. Marvels of engineering, divided into a distinct head shield, a flexible middle section, the thorax, and a tail plate, the progidium.
So segmented, flexible.
Exactly. That division allowed for incredible flexibility and protection. It was an early blueprint for these highly specialized body plans that would, come to dominate ecosystems.
And their eyes. I remember reading something about their eyes being special.
Perhaps the most remarkable feature for many of them, yeah. Trilobites developed compound eyes, like insects today, but made of calcite lenses, capable of detecting movement.
Mineral eyes? How?
It required extraordinary biochemical control over crystal growth. They could precisely shape these mineral lenses. It's incredible.
Wow.
And different species evolved specialized eyes for their lifestyles. You had tiny plankton feeders like Agnostis pisciformis, huge ones like Paradoxides davidus, 35 centimeters.
That's big for a trilobite.
Huge. And things like Phacops rana had enormous, really complex eyes. We even find blind species, which suggests they adapted to deep water where light just didn't reach.
A whole range of visual adaptations.
And it wasn't just trilobites. This is what's truly striking. Anomalocaris canadensis.
The big predator, right. The weird shrimp thing.
The apex predator of the Cambrian seas, yeah. It had compound eyes with over 16,000 lenses each.
16,000?
16,000. That gave it visual acuity comparable to a modern dragonfly.
That's mind-blowing for that long ago.
It is. And the evolution of vision like that triggered that sensory arms race we talked about. Predators and prey needed to see better, hide better, move more strategically. This explosion in senses drove an explosion in behavior.
16,000 lenses. I can't get over that. What must the world have looked like to them? Must have changed everything, hunting, hiding.
Every aspect of survival, absolutely. And meanwhile, other groups were innovating rapidly too.
Like who else?
Early mollusks, things like Luticella and Eldonella, they were experimenting with simple cone-shaped shells. And we see the earliest evidence of spiral coiling in shells, a design that would become incredibly successful later on.
Right, snails and things. But How do we even know all this detail, especially the soft, squishy bits?
Yeah, that's crucial, isn't it? Because most soft-bodied Cambrian animals, they left no fossils at all. We rely on extremely rare sites, these Lagerstätten, German for storage places. They're extraordinary fossil beds, like the Burgess Shale in British Columbia.
Ah, I've heard of that one.
And the Chengcheng biota in China. These are precious windows because unique conditions there preserve not just bones or shells, but even the soft tissues. Gives us rare insights into their complete forms.
So we get the whole picture.
As much as we can. These amazing sites give us vivid glimpses into ancient ecological dramas. We see creatures like Morella splendens, they called it the lace crab, it's so delicate.
No.
And Sydnea inexpectans, a really formidable predatory arthropod. We found fossils with its stomach contents preserved, showing it preyed on trilobites. Direct evidence.
Fossilized dinner, that's incredible.
Isn't it? And for the very first time, these clear predator-prey relationships created what we call trophic levels.
Ah, the food chain.
Exactly, the different layers, from photosynthetic producers at the bottom, all the way up to apex predators like Ligania cambria, another relative of Anomalocaris, which could grow to nearly 2 meters long.
2 meters, huge.
Massive.
Yeah.
And most major animal groups, the phyla, they all appeared within this astonishingly short window, maybe 20, 25 million years.
That rapid diversification is just staggering. And the food webs connecting everything, that's a truly transformative development.
Absolutely.
But speaking of foundations, where do we fit in? As humans, vertebrates. What about our own lineage in this Cambrian story?
You're touching on something really fundamental there. The Cambrian also saw the first appearance of chordates.
Chordates, that's us, basically. Or our ancestors.
Animals with a flexible rod running down their back called a notochord.
Yes.
Yes, our deep ancestors. There's a creature called Pikaia gracilens from the Burgess Shale.
Pikaia, okay.
A small thing, looked a bit like a worm, only about 5 centimeters long. Seemed pretty unremarkable.
Doesn't sound very impressive.
Not visually, maybe. Yeah. That simple notochord. That was the evolutionary foundation for all vertebrate skeletons, including our own spine.
Wow. So that little worm thing. That's our distant, great-great-great-grand relative, yeah.
It's incredible to think our whole lineage stems from something so small and unassuming back then.
Definitely. Okay, so we've got the shells, the amazing eyes, even our own ancestors showing up. But beyond those flashy things, who were the real architects of ecosystem change back then? The ones really shaking things up?
Often, it's the less glamorous but profoundly impactful players.
Like who?
The animals that learned active burrowing.
Ah, the bioturbators again.
Exactly. Remember, before the Cambrian, seafloors were mostly covered by these flat, pervasive microbial mats.
Right. The pancake world.
The first burrowers, like whatever made the trace fossil Treptichnus pedum, that branching burrow, is so significant it actually marks the official international start of the Cambrian period.
No kidding. That specific trace fossil?
That specific trace. These burrowers literally broke apart the mats, mixed sediments, created new three-dimensional habitats. Other common traces are Scolithos, simple vertical tubes, and Rusophagus, which we recognize as places where trilobites rested or hid.
So even resting left a mark. And there were burrowing predators, too.
Oh, yes. Like Otoia prolifica, a preyapulid worm, also from the Burgess Shale. It lived in vertical burrows and would shoot at its proboscis to grab prey. Painted a whole new picture of life within the seafloor, not just on it.
A hidden world opening up.
And this bioturbation, as we said, it fundamentally altered seafloor chemistry. Oxygen penetrated deeper, nutrients got redistributed. Geochemical studies of Cambrian rocks give us actual numbers, quantitative evidence, showing this huge shift around 540 million years ago. Life was literally changing the planet's chemistry.
Wow. And were there other kinds of architects building things?
There were. Creatures like Clydina, they built tube-like shells and sometimes clumped together, forming small reef-like structures. The first little builders.
But not big reefs yet.
Not from them, but more significantly, there were the archaeocyathids.
What?
Archaeocyathids, an extinct group, maybe related to sponges, maybe their own thing. They built the first major reefs in Earth's history.
The very first reefs.
Yep. Huge structures extending for kilometers sometimes. They supported incredibly diverse communities, creating vital new habitats.
Amazing. Did they last?
Sadly, no. They didn't survive beyond the Middle Cambrian. But they showed what was possible. They set the precedent for reef building.
Okay, so this explosion, the burrowing, the reefs, was it happening everywhere or just in certain spots?
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it was truly a global phenomenon. Now, Earth's geography was radically different back then.
Right, we mentioned the map was weird.
Very weird. Laurentia, that's ancient North America, was on the equator. Baltica, Scandinavia, and Eastern Europe was in the subtropics. Siberia was in tropical latitudes, had extensive reefs, actually. And Gondwana, the giant southern continent, stretched across the southern hemisphere.
A totally different arrangement.
Totally.
And the climate, was it helpful for all this innovation?
Generally, yes. It was mostly warm, pretty stable. No polar ice caps back then. Atmospheric CO2 was much higher than today.
Okay, warm and stable.
And crucially, sea levels were high. They flooded the edges of the continents, creating these vast, shallow seas.
Perfect nurseries.
Exactly. The nurseries of Cambrian diversity. Plus, you had ongoing volcanism, erosion washing minerals into the sea, and importantly, abundant phosphorus, a key nutrient. All this further fueled the explosion of life, provided the raw materials for evolution.
So the whole planet was kind of primed for it.
It seems that way. And we can even look deeper into the ocean's memory preserved in deep water sediments.
What do they tell us?
Well, isotope geochemistry, analyzing variations in the elements like carbon, strontium, sulfur, gives incredible insights into the ancient climate, how productive the oceans were, oxygen levels.
Chemical clues?
Deep-sea fossils are sparser, but we find things like ignostid trilobites, early graptolites. They help correlate rocks globally. And then there are molecular fossils, lipids, cholesterol residues left by organisms that didn't leave body fossils at all. Helps fill in the picture.
Molecular fossils. Wow. And we can't forget the tiny stuff, right? The microbes.
Absolutely not. We can't forget the microscopic architects of this whole transformation. They weren't just background players. They were actively shaping the environment too.
How so?
Well, cyanobacteria, for example, developed specialized cells called heterocysts for nitrogen fixation, basically pulling nitrogen gas out of the water and turning it into fertilizer for the whole ecosystem.
Providing essential nutrients.
Exactly. And sulfur-oxidizing bacteria became really important, forming the base of food webs in these newly churned up bioturbated sediments.
So new food sources appeared.
That's right. And protists, like foraminifera, started building intricate calcium carbonate shells, while radiolarians made these amazing silica skeletons. Dinoflagellates introduced new kinds of primary productivity.
So much innovation at the microscopic level, too.
Absolutely. The Cambrian also saw the emergence of complex microbial communities, different types working together, and maybe even the diversification of viruses playing new ecological roles. All these microscopic innovations supported the increasing complexity needed for larger life to take off.
Okay, so after this incredible journey through ancient seas, what does it all mean for us, sitting here today? How does this ancient chapter still shake life now?
Oh, profoundly. Our own bodies carry the legacy of the Cambrian everywhere.
Like how?
Well, bilateral symmetry having left and right side, that's a fundamental body plan established then. Our segmented spines, directly traceable to Pikaya's notochord.
Our backbone's ancestor.
Pretty much. The complex eyes we have, even the basic genetic toolkit, the HOX genes that controls how animal bodies develop, all have their roots way back then.
The blueprints were drawn then.
Exactly. The calcium carbonate skeletons of Cambrian animals. They set the stage for all later shell-bearing creatures. And those ecological relationships, predator-prey arms races, ecosystem engineering, they still drive evolution today. The rules were written in the Cambrian.
It really is striking how we can piece this together, isn't it? Given the immense amount of time passed, these mysteries of preservation.
They're key. As we mentioned, most soft-bodied things left no trace. So sites like the Burgess Shale and Changjiang are unbelievably precious, these logger states.
Those special fossil beds.
Yeah, they preserved creatures that seem utterly bizarre to us now, like Opabinia.
Oh yeah, the thing with 5 eyes?
5 eyes on stalks, and a weird nozzle or proboscis at the front.
Oh.
Or Hallucigenia, with its spikes and stilt-like legs. They actually reconstructed it upside down at first because it was so alien.
Upside down, that says something.
It really does. These exceptional sites needed really specific conditions, rapid burial, very low oxygen, fine mud, to preserve that delicate detail.
Joe, we're lucky to have them.
Incredibly lucky. Even so, we've probably discovered, maybe fewer than 15% of the species that actually lived back then.
Only 15%, wow.
And it's also important to remember, those molecular clock studies using DNA mutation rates to estimate divergence times, they suggest many animal groups originated much earlier than their first fossils appear.
So the explosion wasn't quite as sudden as it looks.
It might appear more dramatic in the fossil record, partly because that's when hard parts, exoskeletons became common. Things that fossilize easily, it's what we call a taphonomic bias.
A bias in the record itself.
Exactly. Life didn't necessarily appear suddenly, but it suddenly started leaving much clearer, more durable traces. The Chengjiang fossils, for instance, include Fuxinoia protensa, which might preserve the oldest known animal brain.
The oldest brain. Incredible. That's an important distinction, though, is maybe more about the recording of life accelerating than life itself appearing out of nowhere.
Precisely.
And when we look at all that diversity, all those weird Burgess shale creatures, it feels like we're looking at a garden of forking paths.
That's a great way to put it. Stephen Jay Gould's idea. Evolution isn't some ladder climbing inevitably towards modern life.
Right.
Creatures like Opabinia and Hallucigenia, they were successful in their time. They represent unique experiments, different ways of being an animal that just didn't happen to persist. Many successful designs from back then simply didn't lead to modern descendants.
So much experimentation.
And our own existence becomes profoundly contingent. Think about those early, unremarkable-looking chordates like Pikaia.
Our little ancestor.
Yeah. No obvious signs of its extraordinary future. If they had vanished in some local extinction event.
No vertebrates.
No fish, no amphibians, no reptiles, no birds, no mammals, no humans. The entire vertebrate lineage just wouldn't exist.
Wow. That's sobering.
It forces you to consider how many alternative possibilities there were. Different biochemistries, maybe different genetic codes, entirely different sensory worlds, perhaps, based on magnetic fields or electrical sensing that might have evolved if history had taken a slightly different turn.
Yeah, it really gives you perspective, fills you with, I don't know, both humility and wonder.
I think so too. Humility because our own existence wasn't guaranteed, it wasn't inevitable. It was, in many ways, a profound stroke of luck in this vast, ancient lottery.
Definitely.
And wonder, because we get these glimpses through fossils of the sheer vast creative potential that lies within the universe itself.
So, wrapping up this deep dive, the Cambrian was maybe a quiet revolution that utterly reshaped the planet.
Quiet but fast, geologically speaking.
Right. Life inventing pretty much every major animal body plan in less than 30 million years.
An incredible burst.
Yeah.
And that pattern, rapid adaptive radiation, when new environmental opportunities open up, we've seen it repeated many times in Earth's history, but the Cambrian really set the template.
It established the fundamentals.
Exactly. The fundamental architecture of complex ecosystems. Those intricate food webs, the predator-prey dynamics, the ecosystem engineering. Those are principles that still govern ecology today.
The basic rules of the game.
And you could even argue, maybe poetically, about the first glimmerings of, well, consciousness of stone. Some primitive awareness in the decision-making of a trilobite trying to find food or avoid danger. Hints of the universe awakening to itself through life.
Interesting thought. And the rhythms of those ancient seas, they're still with us.
They beat within us today, definitely. Our own circadian clocks, our body's seasonal adaptations. Their deep origins trace back to life, adapting to planetary rhythms during this period.
Wow.
The Cambrian explosion wasn't just some isolated event way back then. It was the establishment of the fundamental biological and ecological principles that continue to guide evolution now. Every innovation since is really an elaboration, a riff on possibilities first explored in those ancient, bustling seas.
Building on that foundation.
Yeah, exactly. Which means the future.
Oh, slay.
Well, it remains radically open, doesn't it? Full of incredible possibilities. Constrained only by, the basic laws of physics and the sheer creative potential of complex systems like life.
So thinking about everything we've covered, what really stands out to you from this journey back to the Cambrian? Maybe think about those fundamental innovations, symmetry, skeletons, eyes, nervous systems, laid down 541 million years ago, that quite literally make you listening now possible today. And then maybe take it a step further. Imagine what new forms of complexity, new kinds of awareness, or new types of interaction might be quietly being pioneered in our world right now, maybe unseen, waiting for their own moment to explode into the future.